Salutations everyone, this is Razor telling you guys about the 1.1.6 patch for Super Smash Bros. For Wii U and 3DS. Probably the last patch this game is going to get, because this patch only touched Bayonetta. No other character was touched at all. No nuffs, no bursts, this is just a Bayonetta nerf. And she got nerfs to a few of her attacks: Fair, Dare, Afterburner Kick, and Witch Twist. Now, this made a huge impact to the Bayonetta game. The Witch Hunt is, I think, mostly over because her guaranteed zero-to-death combos, you know, if you read DI and all that good stuff, are not as huge of a problem, especially with the downwards Afterburner Kick, the dab kick. Its angle has been changed and its knockback has been changed, so it's no longer a combo starter. There's basically not much you can do outside of catching somebody in the air with it and then reading their aerial movement, and they still can dodge it. So this opens up the character a bit for further development, much like the nerfs to other best characters in the game during their time, Diddy and Sheik. This enables those players to really get into the nitty-gritty of these characters and not rely on what had been previously insanely amazing about them, and, you know, try to figure out what they can do now. So players have to figure out what Bayonetta can no longer do against them, and Bayonetta players have to figure what can I still do and what can I now do to mix that up. So the Fair changes. Fair does less damage, and the knockback growth on the third hit was lessened. So basically, Bayonetta's insane combos are going to be more difficult to do at higher and even mid percents. She still has the ability to, catch a mistake in the air and kill you at 0, 20, 35%. She definitely still has that ability. Her up air wasn't touched, still very, very good. Her back air wasn't touched, so you can still spam back airs and get kills at, 80% with rage. So she's still a good character. I don't know if she's the best character still. We're going to have to wait to see what all the great Bayonetta players do, like 9B, Pink Fresh, Komori Kiri, all those players, because they developed the Bayonetta meta and brought her as high as she could possibly go. Now that she's been knocked down a couple of levels, it's up to them to show, themselves as well as the rest of the competitive Smash community what she's still capable of. I think with the loss of the dab kick, getting you those insane zero-to-death combos, you're not going to see as many Bayonettas reach the very, very quick pinnacles that they could before in regionals and even bigger tournaments, especially with people that didn't have success in the game beforehand, because these amazing tools are no longer available to them in the capacity that they were before. The Afterburner Kick, Upwards Kick, all hitbox SDI multipliers went from 1 to 2, so you can now very much SDI out of the Upwards Afterburner Kick, and the early hit knockback growth was increased. So once again, it's just going to be harder for Bayonettas to combo, especially as percent gets higher, and they're going to have to rely more on reads and racking up early damages and looking for mix-ups. The Witch Twist hitbox SD multipliers were also increased from 1 to 2. Knockback growth on the early middle hit, upper hitbox Y position on the middle hit was changed, so all the hitboxes on Witch Twist as well as the Afterburner kicks were shrinked. So it's going to be a little bit harder. Of course, also the angle on dab kick was changed, and knockback growth was increased or decreased depending on the hit of the attack and which attack it is. For instance, in Witch Twist, the late middle hit got a lower hitbox knockback growth, and the last hit got a lesser knockback growth. But the last hit on the second use got a larger knockback growth. So this basically all translates to not as many insane combos that are guaranteed for death, easier to SDI out of, or air dodge away from, depending on the knockback and percentage that you are on an angled Afterburner Kick upwards. And also a small change to her dare landing hit knockback growth went from 140 to 135. So it's still a very, very strong dare landing hit. It still will kill, more so than other attacks in the game. But, a little bit of nerf here. So it was good to see that the Bayonetta issues were addressed in a proper way. They didn't take away her ability to combo whatsoever. They didn't change her insanely good recovery. That's really hard to punish and to edge guard because you have all these multiple jumps and witch twists and afterburner kicks that have multiple hitboxes thrown out there and just really difficult to challenge. She can still combo and kill if you make a mistake in the air, but they're going to be more reliant off of reads and hard mistakes for your opponent. And as well as, if they do not SDI as well, they're still going to be caught in these big combos. Some of her easy bread and butter combos are still guaranteed and easy to do. Their follow-ups are, for the most part, no longer guaranteed. When you go to like the Witch Twist, Afterburner, back air, or up air, now your opponent can SDI more properly out of those previous specials to no longer get hit by those attacks, but they of course are still possible, especially if you mix up how you finish those combos. And none of her smash attacks were, changed whatsoever. Witch time is still insane. Of course, you can still get guaranteed kills off of witch time, which also make her very, very difficult to edge guard, because if you get witch time at the edge, those are very, very many instant, guaranteed kill setups that you can get off of smashes and aerials and, ledge setups. So she was heavily nerfed, but she was easily the best character in the game. Now, when it came to every time Sheik got nerfed, she was still maintained best, character in the game until the last one. But Bayonetta's nerfs were not as much as some of the other characters have gotten, because her character as a whole wasn't changed, which they couldn't really do. They could have, made her knockback on everything less or more to make her less combo dependent or not be able to kill as lower percents, but they didn't do that. They didn't change the character. To make her a bad or a mid-tier, they would have had to completely overhaul the character, which I don't think any of us saw them doing. So these nerfs definitely do hurt her, and I think we will absolutely see that in tournament performance. But as far as, is she still the best character? I don't know. I don't think any of us know at this point. We're going to have to wait to see what all of the best Bayonetta players can still do, and if they can still get those results. And she's still probably a top tier, I would say. She has the tools, she has the projectiles, she's got the witch time, she has that frame 1 air dodge with bat within, and still crazy combos and good kill power. Back air, up air weren't touched. And she can still do all the same things off of throws, just smaller hitboxes on her up special and her side special, and you cannot get those crazy zero to death combos for the most part. Still going to wait and see what the best players in the world can still do with Bayonetta. I'm sure she's not going to disappear from the competitive scene, but the witch hunt for a nerf on her might be satiated with this one, because it was very significant, but she's still, overall, a very good player. Whether there'll be a nerf or buff to any character after this, I think is highly questionable, because only Bayonetta was touched on this one. Oh, by the way, Jigglypuff still got no changes, so that's cool. After launch, not a single change.